Yeah. What up, man? It's Diego, you know what I'm saying? Back with another episode of Volumz podcast. And I got a special guest today. He an up-and-coming rapper, brought up from East LA. My man, Mike Theory. How you doing today, sir?
Just chilling right now.
Okay. So the record that's booming right now, Still Up.
Yeah, that's the
All right,
new
talk
one.
about that record. You know
That's
what
the
I'm
new
saying?
one. And that was like more one of the records I feel like, okay, this is like kind of like the direction I want to go to for the next. So I put it on to the side. And the studio that I recorded at, the owner, he came through and he heard the record. And he's the one that told me like, hey, we need to get a feature on this one. Let's push it. And at the time, like I already had done a bunch of shows with, like King Lil G and stuff like that. So we didn't want to get him on the record like that. We wanted someone like a little more in my lane. And so that's what he's the one that linked us up together for Young Drummer Boy. He came to the studio, we dropped the record, and yeah, we shot the video with Ninth and Company, and we just released that record.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, Young Drummer Boy go hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was listening to his recent EP. What is it? Barge It Out, right?
Barge
Yeah,
Nav.
definitely. So when y'all linked up, was it like a mutual thing, like mutual respect, or you know of his music and you was like, oh yeah, for sure, like
Yeah.
he's gonna take me there, or he gonna help me get there, or like how was that?
Yeah, pretty
about,
much. Like I already knew, I knew of his music and stuff like that. So when I was like, yeah, I really wanted to get on another record, but the owner of the studio, he's the one that pushed. He's the one that pushed for this record. He felt like this was like probably the better record that I had in the bank, and so we pushed that one. When he came to the studio, it was just more mutual respect, which kind of just felt each other's vibe, and just talked for a little before we even got into the music.
Yeah.
And we just sat for a little bit, just vibed out, and then that's when we started recording.
Okay. Yeah, I like to do that too. You know what I'm saying? Like sit down with people and like vibe it out with them,
Yeah.
just to like get a feel of because like I feel like when you just doing it from just like oh yeah this person is this business, or this person is this, I'm using this person for this.
Yeah.
You don't really get the I guess the feeling of how that person is really is. So when y'all do meet each other outside or anywhere else, it's like, oh yeah, what's good, bro?
Yeah.
Versus it's just like I don't really know you like that. So if I see you out, is it gonna be cool if I say what's up to you, even though I don't know you?
Yeah.
Because niggas is
Yeah.
sensitive nowadays, so it's just like
Yeah.
I like to get a feel for people just to talk to them before I actually interview them or go to a show or something like that. You feel me?
No, I feel you.
So describe the evaluation from Liquid Courage.
That's the record that kind of like at that point I was ready, like I was at because I engineer too.
Okay.
So like I was at that point where like am I gonna still do this stuff, like 'cause I felt like I've been doing it for a while, and I don't know if I was gonna continue to put, like I'm never gonna stop making music, that's like, but I didn't know if I was gonna continue to push my music as I like how hard I've been pushing it. So that's why this is my last year, and that's how I made Liquid Courage. This was my last year, so I put and that record got me on tour, and now I'm going back on tour in January, and like so with that album, with that project, that EP, that's just, I caught a whole new wave, and I caught a whole new sound, and like kind of like revamped like my energy and shit into the music.
Definitely. So like you Mexican, Puerto Rican, like
Yeah.
I said before. So how was like your influence of like hip hop and shit?
I don't know, it's kind of crazy because like my mom's from Brooklyn, my dad's from East LA, and so I grew up more with my mom. So
Yeah.
but like I grew up around Mexicans
Yeah.
because Puerto Ricans is kind of hard to find out here.
Yeah.
So like, but I grew up Puerto Rican influenced, but around a bunch of Mexicans.
Okay.
And so like salsa, merengue, all that shit's like, that's in my household. Oldies, growing up in East LA, that's all we listened to was oldies. But then like I got put on to hip hop by my girl cousins.
Okay.
So they were like all into Power 106 at the time, and then we had the Black Box.
Yeah.
The Black Box growing up, so that's how we, the music videos, and so that's kind of like when I'll go over to their house and they would be on that playing hip hop, and that's kind of how I got into it. And from there, I just did my own thing. I got more into underground at the time too, so like I just from like DMX and Nas to like Living Legends and shit like that, like
Yeah.
and
Definitely
then,
for that 100. Because it's just like your mom from Brooklyn, so I had to ask that question
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like back in the day it was like hard hip hop in your face, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just like I feel like that's dope too. So when you got introduced to hip hop, what made you take it serious? Like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it like the groupies and all that? That made you?
I didn't start taking
you
it
know.
serious until like 2009. Like from then,
Okay.
it was just more of like I was young and like I was just like, this is fun, and I'm able to like to do things, and like I'm like 15, 16, and there ain't no clubs, so we go to hip hop shows and then like go to parties and like that's how we used to freestyle. So for us to perform and just rap, we should throw parties.
Oh yeah.
And we throw parties and like right before the party started, like everybody would get there, we would just rap and shit, and then like, okay, now it's time to party. Like we're done rapping, let's party now. Like so we just kick off the party, us rapping, and then all right, now it's time to party. Let's throw in some music and let's get it popping.
I mean, that's a smart way to get introduced too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like that's how a lot of like club owners or like people that want to like branch out to do other things. That's how they start. They get a couple of homies, or whether it's they want to raise fund for whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? They get a couple of homies like, yo, bro, I'm trying to throw a party. You got some people, I got some people. All right, let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? And it goes somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like it grows into something different. So how do you go about like working with different producers? Like,
with different producers, it depends. Like there's people that I know personally, that have been doing it so we can vibe out in the studio and stuff like that, which is what I prefer. Mm-hmm. And then there's other ways where like they just hit me up through email or like Instagram, whatever, Twitter, and they send me beats, and if I like them, then I'll write to them, and then I'll hit them up like, hey bro, I'm gonna use this song, I need that, and then let's work out a deal or however you want to do this. I need the instrumentals tracked out. Like I don't really fuck with like the 2 tracks and all that stuff like that.
Definitely. So how's your writing process?
I write in the car, driving.
Oh yeah. So like where it comes to you know what's crazy? I
hate sitting down and just writing. Yeah.
Yeah, like you gotta like when it comes from different places, you gotta stop and you know what I'm saying, do it like right then and there too, because like questions come to me from different places. Like if I wanna when I wanna ask people like different like interesting questions, like it comes to me in weird ass places. Like last night I was like washing dishes, like listening to your mixtape. And like a question came, and I was like, yo, this nigga's like Mexican and Puerto Rican. I know he grew up on hip hop, like somewhere in, you know what I'm saying, like because the Puerto Rican, the history of like Puerto Ricans is like New York, and then the history of like Mexican people is like East LA, is like Patos Locos type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that question came, I was just like, shit come to me from weird ass, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo.
That's why I ride in my car. Like I just listen to beats and like I want to make music that I can like ride to, and that I can just vibe out to. So like me in the car, and if I can come up with a song in the car, most likely I can, when I record it, I'm gonna be able to ride to it. And that's just like kind of like the culture too, like East LA, driving down Whittier Boulevard and shit, playing music and just everybody's just kicking it and just. That's what we should do. Most of my music, the songs that I actually like, are the ones that usually I come up with like the idea and the hooks in the car, and then I'll go back to my house or like my room or the studio and I'll write the verses and I'll like. But for the most part, I have like the structure to all the songs, or I come up in the whip.
Oh shit, definitely. So your car is like everything to you right now.
Yeah. That's like. I'm always in my whip. I'm everywhere. We're moving around, so like, I usually like I listen to some music, but like. And then I always have it on random, so I always have beats in there. So a beat will come up, like maybe I had that beat 3 months ago. And when I was listening to the studio, I was like, it's whatever. Well, I hear it in the car, I hear it differently.
Yeah.
And then like, all of a sudden, like, oh shit, here's a hook. Like, let me write that shit down real quick.
And that's how music can grow on you too, because you can hear it like fucking walking on your phone. And you're like, this shit trash. Who the fuck told this nigga to write this song? This shit garbage. But then you at home by yourself.
Yeah.
And then, it's just like, this shit kind of knock, and then you hear it in the club, and you're like, oh, this motherfucker hard. Hey, tell that nigga that shit is hard. He need to write another motherfucking track like this. You know what I'm saying? So I get where you coming from with that. So like, you got a team and shit for like your next project, or touring and everything like that.
Well, like in the studio, it's just me and my engineer. That's I've known him since like high school.
Okay.
And so it's just that's who I work with on in the studio all the time. But like touring wise, I got a tour manager. They're out of the Bay, so like shout out to Madhouse. They work out of San Francisco, and that's cool. And that's who plans my out-of-state tours and stuff like that. So I'm about to be hitting the road again in January.
How did that tour come about? Like with Cap G?
Well, Cap G is through this promoter, LA High, and I've known them for a while. But I did a show with Drummer Boy in Bakersfield, and we kind of like the promoter LA High, Rob. We kind of linked back up, started talking and vibing out again and saw my performance. And from back then, like I think it was like 2000, maybe 14 to like now, like my shit's completely changed. My presence on stage is way different. My music's kind of different. And we kind of linked up, and then he hit me up the next day. He hit me up. We started talking about shows and stuff like that. I'm like telling him like how I want to get out. Like I don't like I love LA, you know, and this is where I grew up, but I need to. It's kind of like I'm kind of done with LA for a little bit. Well, shows wise, unless it's like for the tour, we're gonna do an LA stop. I have to do an LA stop, but besides that, like I need to get out. Like I need to be on the road. Like yeah, I'm like being on the road. That's like kind of miss that shit. Like waking up at 6 a.m, getting on the van and just driving and half tired and pulling up to the venue, and like as soon as you walk in the venue, you're like you feel like I slept like 8 hours, but I only slept 2. But you feel different, like because you're like I'm about to like a whole new crowd, a whole new different people you're about to meet, and like you're about to introduce your music to those people that
groupies.
Yeah, like that will never listen to you and shit before, like you know.
Definitely. So you ain't got a girl right now, then? Nah.
I got a situation, you know.
Okay. All right. Definitely.
I got a couple situations, but you know.
All right. So, cause I want to ask, cause like the reason I asked you that first, because like when I be asking like different like artists about like how does the groupie loving feel, like they'll kind of like cringe up if they got a girlfriend, but it's just like keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what you do. This is what your life. And whoever you with, know that this come with it. You feel me? How's that for you? Like the groupie love. Like
I'm straight up. Like so, any girl that I meet, they know off the bat. Like my music comes first, and like this is what I'm doing. Like I don't care. Like, and yeah, we can be cool, we can kick it, we can have fun. But like if I'm leaving and I'm on the road, then I might meet some other girl or something might happen or not. You know, if you ask, then do you really want to know? Don't ask if you don't really want to know.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean? And that's what it is. It's just, and that's why I pride myself. I pride myself on being honest, and it gets me in trouble a lot. But
that's gonna pay off in the long run. Cause I feel like that too. Cause like I feel like I be too honest a lot of times. Like this girl, she was like, why when you speak you're like straightforward? I'm like, well, how do you want me to be? You know what I'm saying? Like how the fuck do you want? Like, cause I get that, like I said before, we living in a sensitive time where like a lot of things is like sensitive and people want to just like be behind the bush or don't really want to tell you. Cause I rather you tell me how you really feel than for me to be around other people and you telling other people how you really feel about me and they have a mindset of just like or have a stigma of just like, oh yeah, this motherfucker right here, this motherfucker act like this or this motherfucker this way based off of what that person say. And we live in a following world, so people just gonna follow off of what that person say, but it's not really true. That's just how that person views me, but you don't really know me. You know what I'm saying? Like you yourself don't really know me, so that's why I feel like I like to keep it 100. Like if you telling me some shit, give you my honest opinion, whether you like it or not. You know. So how do you feel about the XXL list, freshman list?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
It's cool. Like.
I fuck with any other artists.
I fuck with a couple of them on there. I hate this conversation because like a lot of people that are like I came up with, they're on some like super hip hop shit and like, but I don't know. I'm more. I grew up different. Like I grew up around different music, and like I feel like when I was listening to hip hop and my mom used to yell at me. Well, I wanted to express myself a certain way. So how can I be able to talk shit about other people that want to express themselves a certain way? You know, and like I do find that music. I bump that. I bump some of it. I bump Playboy Cardi. You know, I bump Kodak. Like A Boogie. That's probably like one of my favorite artists right now coming up. A Boogie, Cap G, of course. But yeah, like it's just a different wave right now. And like people gotta understand. People gotta either get with it or just stay in your own lane, bro, and just sit back. Grow old and be broke.
For real, And a lot of people, they don't understand the process too of like how difficult it is coming up with some shit. Fucking putting everything to the side just for this one thing, And then when you get to like, like say like a XXL freshman cover, people, oh yeah, that shit is garbage. That shit is weak. Cause I felt like that too, in the beginning. I was like, man, all these motherfuckers on here are garbage, except for the ones I fuck with. And then I think Kyle's, I think like his manager or like his publicist or somebody like that. Or they hit me. They was like, well, my client is dope. Like he hit me on Twitter on some shit like, well, my client is dope. And I was like, of course you writing for your client.
Yeah.
You supposed to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He with you. You supposed to. And then he was just like, well, these people are new. You should just give them some time. And I was like, yo, that's facts right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's real shit because like these is new people coming from wherever they coming from, still have that mindset. You know, still not being used to people knowing who the fuck they is and walking up to them, you know, bitches screaming and crying and shit like that. They not used to that, you know.
Yeah.
So I had to take that into consideration. Like, he right. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just sit back and really like let these people grow into who they gonna be. You know, because this is the future.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta think about the cover is just it's up and comers, like new
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
They haven't even like scratched the surface with either they're gonna blow up or they're not gonna they're gonna stay where they're at. Look at like the other freshman class. You know that there's like the J Cole and Fashawn, like they're on the same cover, but Fashawn hasn't really, you know,
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
he's not at the same level as like Wiz, where Wiz is at now,
Yeah.
or where J Cole's at. So that's what that cover is supposed to be. You know, these people are making waves in their cities and they're doing their thing. Now it's time, like it's pretty much telling you, hey, keep a lookout, see what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's not like a Hall of Fame list or like All-Star list. It's just like, hey, take a look, keep a lookout on these new artists coming up. They're making some waves. They got some singles and shit like that. Like, keep a lookout.
Yeah, I fuck with Fashion's music too. I feel like he slept on, like, you know,
Oh,
because
yeah,
he's a
for
lyricist
sure.
and shit.
For sure.
And he from Fresno.
Yeah, I know.
Who the fuck
Little
is
mix out
from
of Fresno.
Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Like, nobody
Yeah.
give a fuck about Fresno.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's
you know
real
what
shit
I'm saying?
though. Yeah, I fuck with Fashion though.
You doing a music thing, you know, you going on tour and everything like that. So the labels is gonna come at you. So how do you feel about that process? Like, how do you want to go about that process? You want to stay independent? You want to get a partnership? You want to sign to a major?
Like,
Like,
most
what?
likely, I'm probably gonna stay independent. Right now, I have like some things in the works. I got a distribution deal on the table right now, and with that, most likely, that's what I'm probably gonna do that and just probably keep pushing that because it's a pretty good deal and it's everything kind of what I want. I have my freedom. I make my own music, and it pushes me too because like with this one, it's an actual like deal. So I will have to send my music and it'll get sample clearances and all that, and so like it's gonna kind of push me to like push my music more and like kind of be aware of like what I'm making and what beats I'm using and how I'm using them and stuff like that. So, but I don't know if a label. I'm not gonna say if a label came to me, I'm gonna turn it down. But most like my mindset right now is kind of I just want to build something on my own, like what I've been doing, and kind of like I already have like a little team and like the music I'm making, and I don't know, just I feel comfortable. I don't want to say I feel comfortable but I kind of do. Like I feel like I'm in a different space where I used to be, and I want to continue what I'm doing right now, and with the distribution deal that I have on the table and what I'm doing now is like this is kind of like where I want to be and kind of want to build it. But if something does come up across my path that I feel like shit, I can't turn that down and the check's right, like
Yeah,
I
of
ain't
course
gonna,
not.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? The money's right. How can I say no?
Yeah, definitely. What do you got to say to like your younger influences or the people that fuck with your music? Because there's probably a kid right now that you know just went to the halls, is about to eat his Al Jones on Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so how you know what do you have to say to like you know kids like that?
Shit, man, just I don't know. For me, it's just being consistent. Like
Okay.
that's like the whole thing. I think that's like the whole thing to the music is like being consistent. Because as soon as you stop putting out, or so you stop like working on your craft, and you like focus on something else, like I feel like you lose like it only can be a week, a month, and that can be like almost a year of time away from what you like. It's music is so fast, and then it's like it's moving so quickly, and there's like so many people trying to make it, and if you're not consistently working on your craft, consistently trying to better yourself, and consistently trying to figure out who you are and how to and like what you want the people to know who you are, then like you ain't gonna make it. Like you ain't gonna get nowhere. Like you got to be consistent, and consistency is not. I'm not saying like always dropping something. That's part of it too. But being consistent on like always trying to better yourself and knowing like okay, yeah, my hooks are kind of all right. My verses are cool, but I think I need to focus more on my hooks. So I'm gonna keep writing my verses, but my focus is more on my hooks. That's what I did. Like I fucking used to suck at hooks, and like I used to hate writing hooks. But that's where I spend like the last year of my time is like focusing on hooks. So now when I hear a beat and if I can't come with a hook, then I usually pass on that and I'll come back to that beat. But that's how I switched up my writing style. Before I used to write my verses and then my hooks. 'Cause I used to not like writing hooks. So now I have to write my hooks first, and then I have to come up with a bridge or a post, and then I'll write my verses. So like, it just be consistently working on your faults and your where you feel like you are slacking on. It's just being consistent, like always working.
Definitely. Yeah, man. So y'all heard it from the man himself, Mike Theory. You know, he an up and coming rapper. And be on the lookout. You know, this is Diego, Volumz podcast, and we out, bitch.